You are not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your DMV Sports Weekly Update, and I am your host, CWall. As always, I am just so excited to be here with you all to give you all the rundown of everything going on in the DMV from a sports perspective. You all know what it is when you check in. What we got to do, we got to hit the love button, right? So I know you're in the building. Absolutely got to hit the love or the like button. You have to say what's up to the CWall team. You all know Joy is on here, always getting the conversation started and going with you all. And of course, you all have to say hello to my favorite girl, my Mama Waller. So make sure you all are saying what's up to those ladies. And oh, by the way, make sure you are sharing this show with your DMV sports loving family and friends. Okay, make sure you all are hitting that love button, saying what's up to Joy and my mama, and make sure you saying hello to each other too. Okay, and share the show. Absolutely, exactly what Joy's already letting y'all know. It is a jam-packed show. Something for everybody on this one. We're going to try to get through as much as we can, as many of the teams as we can. I mean, literally, here's what's about to go down. We got to talk Nats opening day. We have to absolutely talk Mystics. We got to talk about Maryland and Georgetown. Key players going into the transfer portal. We gotta talk a little bit about the Wizards. And guess what? We gonna try to get to the Commanders. We gonna try, but listen, the DMV Sports is popping right now. As always, we gotta show everybody all of the love when it comes to Coaching from the Couch, the DMV Sports Weekly Update. So please check in and let me know that you all are ready to go. Check in and let me know that you all are ready to go, because absolutely the show is content heavy. All right. So listen, let's go ahead and get started. Why don't we? I'm going to take my time with this one, okay? Because we got a lot to discuss in a short period of time. So, as I mentioned, now you all live in the Washington metropolitan area. You know that this is absolutely a rainy, dreary day. Nats opening day. Rain and dreary. The game has, been postponed due to the inclement weather. But nonetheless, opening day, baseball season is here. It has started. So everybody get excited about that. Here's one of the things that I always enjoy seeing the local teams do for each other at the beginning of their seasons. I love it when the other teams, other professional teams, they shout out and wish the team luck. For some reason, I get a kick out of that. I think that's cool. So, like, the Wizards had a dope infographic. The Commanders did. DC United, the Washington Justice, you name it. DC, all of them. They just had the coolest infographics. And I always think that's dope for them to show love to each other and everything. So that's cool. I really do. I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Now, we got to get started with this so that everybody knows who's on the team right now. So take a look. This is the Washington Nationals 28-man roster. Check this out. Hit the love button if you see a Nats player that you absolutely love and can't wait to see them play this season. Take a look at the names. Of course, everybody knows that these names could change throughout the season, but for right now, this is the team. This is the team right here. So we absolutely want to wish them nothing but the best. Everyone knows that the season is long. The baseball season is extremely long. But hey, we're here for it. We're here at the start and we're going to be here at the finish. Okay? So before we jump right on into our next topic, I do want to shout out a media colleague of mine, Mr. Travis McGee. I see that you're on from Sports Talk Atlanta. I had the pleasure of moderating a panel with my chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Prince George's County Alumni Chapter, in which Travis was one of the panelists, and he did an amazing job. So thank you, Travis, for joining. It's so amazing to have you on. And everybody, give Travis a like or a love emoji or a button so that he can feel the love and he can feel all of that from the CWall Sports and Entertainment family. Next up, did you all know this? Now listen, I know that sometimes we get a little disappointed with the Washington Wizards, but check this out right here. The Capital City Go-Go, they're playing. Okay, the Capital City Go-Go earned their first playoff victory the other night. They have advanced to the second round. They are taking on Raptors 905. That is the Toronto Raptors G League team. Okay, and they're the first seeded team. So we want to share all that great vibes and all that good luck to the Capital City Go-Go. They're balling right now. They're balling right now. You already know this is the show where we give all of the DMV sports highlights and updates. So you know we got to stop for a minute because we're going to get to the Wizards after a while. You all definitely want to tag in your Wizards, your fellow Wizards fans, because I definitely got something to say about them in a little bit. But before we get there, because I said I wanted to do positive vibes and positive things first, shout out to the Capital City Go-Go. Send those positive vibes over there to them. They're doing an amazing job. They have been the entire season. So we want to say congratulations to them, and we hope that they continue to thrive and make some noise in the G League playoffs. Okay? All right. So, other big news this week in DMV sports. Now, check this out, y'all. You all know that I would talk all the time. And I myself, even as a media professional, was quite excited about the Mystics getting the first pick in the draft. Wow, I was excited about that. Do y'all remember? I was like, wow, a team in the area has the first pick in the draft. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? We're going to stay here for a moment. We're going to stay here for a minute. Coach Mike Tebow also is the general manager for the Mystics. Traded the pick. But if we take a look at it, let's take a hard look at this, okay? So Washington gets same year, in this year, get a first rounder. You pick third, okay? Then you can get a second rounder, all right? And then you can swap again. So essentially you get 3 picks. That's not so bad. It's not so bad, but I still felt like there was some excitement around picking first. I really did. I was excited about that. But it's okay. It's all right. No players involved. These are picks. take a look at that and let me know how you're feeling about this Mystics trade, Mystics fans. I want to get your opinion on this. And while you're dropping your opinion in the chat, here is what Mystics general manager and head coach Mike Tebow had to say. We are very comfortable with all three players that we have ranked as the possible top 3 picks in the draft. Whichever player comes to us will add to the depth of this year's team and will have the chance to grow into a very important role over the next few years. We didn't have any other picks in this draft, and now we have number 14 to try to find another good young player that can be a part of our future. I'm excited for the draft on Monday night, and our fans should be excited too. Listen, I felt like that was important to read that all the way through, because that is truly that's an important point. That is an important point, because we talked a little bit about this before when we were starting to talk about, okay, the Mystics have the first pick in the draft. And Coach Tebow, of course, he's right. Of course, the man is, y'all know how I feel about Coach Tebow. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tebow. I think he's an amazing coach, an amazing general manager. And I'm like, he's exactly what he said is what we've even discussed on the show. You really can't go wrong with any of the picks that could potentially go 1, 2, or 3. So for Coach to say, hey, look, we had an opportunity here. Okay, they liked what the Atlanta Dream was offering. They want the first pick, fine. You get the first pick, cool. We can get 3, not much difference, as many of us have already discussed. Not much difference between 1, 2, and 3. You're getting a stellar player either way. And oh, by the way, now you get to pick someone else in the draft that could be really solid and good for years to come for the Mystics. And then they have another opportunity in a future draft as well. All is well. All is well. No need to panic. No need to panic. It's okay. It's all right. Let's just continue to trust the process, but absolutely was shocked by that. Now, here's what I want to share to you. Mystics fans, have you checked in yet? Have you checked in? Do I know that you're here? Because I have information for you. If you have not already heard, okay, the Mystics are having a draft party 6 to 9, Monday, April 11th, down at the Caesars Sportsbook. Okay, Coach Tebow will be there. Select Mystics alumni, Christy Winter Scott. Okay, DJ Heat is going to be spinning the tunes. So they're going to have a ton of activities going on for fans to participate in Monday, April 11th at the Caesars Sportsbook. Okay. 6 to 9. You heard it here. If you hadn't heard it yet, make sure you are sharing that information with fellow Mystics fans. Go ahead and come. It'll be fun. Why not? Okay, why not? Now, I think it's time for me to move on we've done the good vibes conversation. Has everybody checked in and hit the love or like button? And has everybody gotten into the good vibes pieces of this conversation? Because now it's time to talk through I do have a little bit more good vibes. Good. Okay, because I'm about to say, but the not so good vibes are coming. At least this time I gave you a heads up. Now, oftentimes, it's always discussed in DMV sports, why aren't there more players and coaches from the area coaching local teams? So in recent weeks, this has changed a bit. Let's check it out. So Patrick Ewing has brought on Kevin Nickelberry. You all check in if you've heard some of these names. Okay, because these names mean something around these parts, okay? He's been hired to be an assistant coach at Georgetown. This is a familiar name, familiar and local to the area. This was good news and positive to see. Landover native David Cox. He has been added to Maryland's men's basketball team coaching staff. This is good news. That's very positive. Tacoma Park. Check in if you're from Tacoma Park. Where's everybody? Tacoma Park. What's up? Got somebody from Tacoma Park out here representing. I think that's fantastic. And it's exactly the kind of thing that you want to see. And I feel like that is what I know I've been hearing over the years that people want to see more of happen. Now, not just from a coaching perspective, they also want to see this happen from a player's perspective. So here's where the conversation shifts a little bit. At least I gave you the heads up, okay? So with that, it was also announced that Georgetown's men's basketball have had 3 of their players enter into the transfer portal. Then the big news, she broke this news herself. Ashley Owusu from Maryland, tremendous year since she's been a Terp, announced that she is entering the transfer portal. Then, same day, almost the same time, Angel Reese also mentioning that she has entered the transfer portal. All of which had a lot, still had quite a few years of eligibility. I think Ashley has 2 years left of eligibility and Angel has 3. Listen, I really want to know you all's feelings on this. This is tough, a tough pill to swallow. And Ashley, on her Twitter page, she noted that there were some things on and off the court that led to this decision. I know there was some disappointment of course, right? In, Maryland losing in the Big Ten and being ousted in the Sweet 16, but there was still so much promise. And so to see the top 2 scorers and actually 2 reserves also have entered the transfer portal, and the team was losing a couple of seniors anyway. This is tough. And going back to mention, always wanting to see players from the area who are stars stay in the area. Ashley is from outside of, out or near Woodbridge. And I believe Angel is from Baltimore. So we're still talking DMV. We still talking the area. And that was tough to see and quite a shock. You all know, and so many of everyone, not just media, fans, staff, the like, have a lot of respect for Coach Brenda. And it's making me wonder if this is truly just, hey, these teams, they want to win. They want to win, and I don't know. It's tough. And I want to acknowledge this comment here from huge DMV sports fan John Adams. I think Brenda runs a good ship, and you have to be able to get in and fit in. Exactly. Coach Brenda she runs a tight ship. But I think that will to win and be competitive and just it's there. It's there. And it's something that is now a topic of conversation across sports, across collegiate sports, because so many schools are experiencing losing star players in the transfer portal since this process has started. So I know from a business perspective, I plan on doing some more research and thinking around the transfer portal and what really makes or breaks with the transfer portal. I mean, the thing about this is it's how can you plan for the future and how can you be effective from a coaching and planning perspective if your staff is changing every single year, if your core team is changing every year, because they have that option to enter into the transfer portal, right? At the same token, I absolutely understand the player's perspective in that they want to win and they want to win now. So we talked about this before when we talk about the NFL and professional sports, about the win now mentality. But I think what we're seeing is a generation that needs that win now. They need that instant gratification. They need that positive reinforcement sooner rather than later, or else they're going somewhere where they feel like they can get it. So it's a topic of interest. It's a topic that needs to be seen. And I need to shout out Team Bullard founder, Lawrence Bullard, who has put a comment here. And exactly right. The NIL as well. Free agents mean endorsements these days. Exactly. And so the tide is changing. The tide is turning. We're seeing that in real time happening. And we're seeing that happening with our local programs. And hey, y'all know one thing that we do on CWall with CWall Sports and Entertainment, and what we do on Coaching from the Couch on all of the shows is what? We believe in transparency, right? Because transparency builds trust. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Angel and Ashley entering the portal, they kept that under wraps. I didn't know nothing about that. All right. That was not something it wasn't any rumblings. No. Shocked. So, and still, let me be clear, not certain. Yes, Ashley alluded to it in her tweet about what, that things that occurred on and off the court, led to the difficult but necessary decision. So, of course, that leads you to believe that something happened, something transpired, right? The what, the who, I don't know. I'm being honest, but that was a shock. And to lose both the same day, making that announcement the same time. So, more to come. But this is definitely a topic that I know CWall Sports and Entertainment is going to continue to track and be paying close attention to, because teams are changing. So we'll see more. We'll see more of what happens. We'll see. Are there any Wizards fans left? Where are the Wizards fans? Check in, why don't you, Wizards fans? Are you there? Are you with me? So listen. Wizards fans, let's chat for a couple minutes. I know I got to wrap it up, because then we're going to talk very briefly about the Commanders, because as I said, this show, we got to cover all of the DMV sports highlights, and there were so many this week. Wizards fans, I need to know, what's your one word for the season? The season is basically over. The last home game is Friday. It's all done. So, and I think they play another game this weekend. I mean, I know that they do, but their last game is April the 10th for the season. And so, what's your one word? Drop your one word in the chat. And I tried to keep my drag to a minimum and just say, what's your one word to describe the season? What's your one word? Drop your one word in the chat so we can address that. It's all over. It's it. Listen, really quick. I'm surprised. I really am. And this is going to have to be one of those times where I have to just admit out loud that I was wrong. I was wrong. Very wrong. And I didn't see any of this coming. I'm talking about the Wizards going to be a 5th seed in the playoffs. I done said all kinds of wild stuff at the beginning of the season, and there's not even the same people playing for the team. Listen, I don't know what's more of a shock. Which one is more of a shock? Maybe that's the conversation we'll close out with today. What's more of a shock, you all? While you all are checked in and watch, what was more of a shock? The way the Wizards season turned out, or the Commanders trading for Carson Wentz? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm kind of, the Carson Wentz thing, it is what it is. But that move is getting dragged by a lot of NFL analysts. So I'm like, well, which one is the bigger surprise for DMV sports fans? Is it the way that the Wizards season turned out after such a strong season? Very strong. The chemistry was there, the camaraderie was there. It just was all making sense. Then few things happen here and there. Now look, nothing. And I see Damon's answer here. His answer is the trade for Carson Wentz. I think my answer is I didn't know what they were going to do, but what I did know that the Commanders were a bit desperate for a quarterback. I knew that. I knew they wanted to say, coming out of this offseason, the Commanders, we have our QB1. I'm going to always go back to at the beginning of Carson Wentz's press conference when Coach Ron Rivera got up there. And that was the first thing he said. Oh, what y'all call it, QB1? I'm here to announce the QB1. I said, ooh, he couldn't wait to say that. Seems like. So I knew that a move was going to be made. And I know it was going to be Carson Wentz, not necessarily. Because I didn't think that the Colts would be open to trading Carson so soon. But I knew that was a big thing. They had to come out of this offseason with the established QB1. I knew that. So with that being said, and I saw some comments in the chat, and I tried to acknowledge those, that for some, that's their vote was for Carson Wentz. That's the bigger shock so far currently in DMV Sports highlights here recently. I'm going to say that my bigger shock is the Wizards. I'm here to tell you, it's for me, for just watching it all play out. I would not have called the downfall of the Wizards. It's like really you really literally, because they were number one for like a week in the Eastern Conference, but you literally went from like worst to first, because the Wizards at one point were in the power rankings. Now, am I saying they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals and they was going to win the championship? No, but what I am saying is that decline was rapid, and they never recovered. They never recovered. Even after the trade deadline, it was like, well, what did you do? I guess all you did was get whatever bad vibes you felt were there. You just got the bad vibes out, but nothing else happened positive as a result. So they get my vote. The Wizards get my vote, because I just, a demise like that, that's some turmoil right there. I said, well, good grief. And here's the other thing with Carson. I must keep saying this. And people do realize that. I think it's the cap hit that is probably like, oh, good grief, because it's such a cap hit for this year. But in terms of who do you want, Carson Wentz or Taylor Heineke? So, hey, I knew they were going to make a jump. They were going to do something, and they did something. But the Wizards, they just have floored me. You all, we have made it another week. Do not forget, you can catch this show and both Coaching from the Couch shows every single Friday. If you have Verizon Fios, you can catch the show on channel 11. If you have Xfinity, you can catch the show on channel 77 every single week, every Friday from 1:30 to 2:30. There's absolutely no excuse to miss Coaching from the Couch. You can catch it anywhere. It's always available digitally, and you can catch it every Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. Okay? So you all, thank you. It is always a super duper pleasure to bring you all of the DMV sports highlights for the week. You all be good, be blessed, stay safe, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon.
You're not on the field or ice. You're on the couch. DMV to DC. This is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am. Through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back.